Hello everyone, my name is Mini Assassin, and today I will be attempting to beat Pokémon Dalmatian and Friends with only a single Beagle. Right away we pick our starter, who will obviously be a Beagle. I name her Beagle. After leveling her up enough, she learns how to sit, and we can do some training at the gymnasium. Unlike most other Pokémon games, training in Dalmatian and Friends is done with a touchscreen and stylus. At the gymnasium, it's used to tell Beagle where we want her to go. Once we finish training, we can take on our first trial. Trials in Dalmatian and Friends are separated into 3 categories: Disc, Agility, and Obedience. Our first one is in the Agility category, which is what we train for at the gymnasium. Beagle totally crushes it, even speedrunning her way to victory, winning us our first badge. No rest for Beagle though, as we go to do some more training, this time at the park. In the park, training is done through swiping up on the touchscreen to throw items for Beagle to catch. This trains her endurance, allowing her to run farther. Our next trial is of the Disc category, using the speed learned at the park. Even though she missed her first 2 catches, Beagle manages to pick up her act midway through and clutch out a win for our second badge. Dalmatian and Friends is a unique game in that there is very little in terms of story and plot. It's also very open-ended in its progression. Still, I'd much rather get the Disc and Agility out of the way first, so I keep training at the gymnasium. With each trial we complete, the gymnasium unlocks more obstacles. This time, Beagle can master balance on the seesaw, making her much more of a threat than she ever was. This lets her quickly and efficiently win us badge 3. Going back to the park, we run into another trainer. This hinders our ability to train for Disc trials, so Beagle attacks their Shih Tzu, then we can leave for another trial. Even though we didn't get any practice done, Beagle blows the competition out of the water, winning us badge number 4. A final trip to the gymnasium allows Beagle to train coordination in the weave pulls, and we take on back-to-back trials. Beagle easily wins both badges 5 and 6, allowing us to focus solely on Disc competitions. One last trip to the park, and we learn that Beagle is really bad at catching discs. This doesn't stop her from mauling a Yorkshire Terrier on our way back from the park. Even with Beagle's lackluster catching ability, we can still easily win badge 7, but badge 8 is a struggle. We get 3rd place, which is enough to win, but I know Beagle can do better. With 8 badges comes the final gauntlet of the run, the Elite Four. And what could possibly be more difficult than voice controls? Obedience trials use moves taught by shouting them through the DS's microphone. Shake. Shake. It isn't too bad at the start when Beagle only knows 1 or 2 moves, but we're doing all 4 in a row, which means more chances for Beagle to mix up similar sounding moves. She already knows sit because of the tutorial, and teaching her to shake and lay down aren't too difficult either. But spin and bag are very different stories. Spin requires us to hold her tail until she starts to chase it, which she doesn't like. She will get angry and refuse to learn anything for a while, so it takes me around an hour to teach her how to spin, while the others took 5 minutes each. Bag is another tricky move because it requires you to have high trainer points, which are earned from doing various activities. How high do we need to get them? Nobody knows. The game doesn't tell you. I did find an exploit to gain them though. Brushing. Brushing gains you 1 point per minute, but you don't actually need to be doing anything. You can just idle on the screen and collect as many points as you want. Once we form a tight enough bond with Beagle, we can get her to bag. Actually, teaching her is a different story. In order to get her to bag, you need to slide up on the touchscreen, but thanks to garbage touch controls, 90% of the time she does this rear up thing like some sort of weird horse. After putting aside my immense frustration for 2005 touch controls, we can finally get Beagle to learn how to bag. Before moving on, I give Beagle a bath. Now Beagle the beautiful Beagle will have an easier time in the Elite Four. Beagle somehow mixes up sitting down during the first round, but knowing how to bag really helped her make up for it. Round 2 is also pretty easy, even if Beagle uses sit and spin instead of down. Twice. Knowing bag definitely still carried us through. By the 3rd round, Beagle still hasn't got the message that down does not mean sit. Bag doesn't help nearly as much here since it's now required, but speed definitely played a role in winning this one. Next is the penultimate round, and Beagle absolutely nails this one. She didn't miss a single move this time around, so we can move on to the championship. This one is in agility because, of course, I would pick the easiest one. No new obstacles are added from previous trials, only more of them in a tighter time limit. This doesn't matter to Beagle though, and she effortlessly finishes the course, crowning her the champion. April Fools! Obviously, this is Nintendogs, not Pokémon. Because I really like shoutouts, I'll do one for the 3rd video in a row. Massive thank you to Rex Rexington and his community for even giving me the idea to do this run in the first place. A link to his Twitch will be in the description. As always, have a good one! I hope to see you all on May the 4th.